How AI changes the meaning of work. Season 3, AI and Money. Episode 3. 1. Introduction. Work is not just a job. Work is more than a way to earn money. It gives structure to time. It provides identity. It creates social status. It shapes daily life. It connects people to society. When work changes, society changes with it. Artificial intelligence is not just changing what tasks people do. It is changing what work means. This episode explores how AI transforms work at a deeper level, beyond job counts and productivity charts. We will look at how AI reshapes roles, expectations, control, dignity, and the relationship between humans and systems. The question is not only whether AI will replace jobs. The question is what kind of work remains, who controls it, and how humans are valued within it. 2. How work functioned before AI. Before AI, most work followed a familiar structure. Humans made judgments. Humans executed tasks. Machines assisted but did not decide. Even in automated environments, humans were often the final authority. Managers supervised people. Workers learned skills over time. Experience mattered. Tacit knowledge mattered. Mistakes were human mistakes. Responsibility was personal. This gave work a moral dimension. You could be praised. You could be blamed. You could improve through experience. AI changes this structure. 3. From skill to system. One of the biggest shifts AI introduces is the movement from skill-based work to system-based work. In skill-based work, value comes from what a person knows how to do. In system-based work, value comes from how well a person fits into a system. AI systems embed knowledge. They encode best practices. They automate decision rules. When knowledge moves into systems, individual skill becomes less visible. The worker becomes an operator. Instead of solving problems, the worker follows prompts, dashboards, and recommendations. This does not eliminate work. It changes its character. 4. The separation of thinking and doing. Historically, many jobs combine thinking and doing. A craftsman planned and executed. A professional diagnosed and acted. A manager decided and coordinated. AI introduces a separation. The system thinks. The human executes. Or the system executes. The human monitors. This division reduces autonomy. It also reduces learning. When humans no longer practice judgment, skills atrophy. Work becomes narrower, more repetitive, more constrained by rules. This changes how people relate to their work. 5. Work as compliance. AI-driven workplaces often prioritize consistency. Consistency requires compliance. Metrics define performance. Dashboards track output. Alerts signal deviation. Workers adapt to the system. Instead of asking, what is the best way to do this? Workers ask, what does the system want? This changes motivation. Creative problem solving gives way to metric optimization. Judgment becomes risky. Compliance becomes safe. Work becomes about satisfying systems rather than serving people. 6. The rise of continuous evaluation. AI allows continuous monitoring. Time spent. Keystrokes. Response speed. Error rates. Customer reactions. Performance is no longer evaluated periodically. It is measured constantly. This creates pressure. Workers feel observed. Small deviations matter. The line between effort and surveillance blurs. This changes the emotional experience of work. Work becomes less about trust, more about verification. 7. Why experience loses value. In many professions, experience once mattered deeply. Years on the job meant intuition, pattern recognition, context awareness. AI systems absorb patterns from large datasets. They do not age. They do not forget. They do not rely on personal memory. As a result, experience becomes less decisive. The system's recommendation may override the veteran's judgment. This does not mean experience is useless, but it is no longer authoritative. Work shifts from mastery to adherence. 8. De-skilling without unemployment. AI can reduce the skill content of jobs without eliminating them. This is called de-skilling. Tasks are broken into steps. Decisions are automated. Humans handle edge cases or supervision. The job still exists, but the skill required declines. This has consequences. Lower skill requirements reduce bargaining power. Lower bargaining power reduces wages. Lower wages reduce status. Work remains, but dignity erodes. 9. The change in career paths. Careers once followed ladders. Entry-level roles built skills. Mid-level roles refined judgment. Senior roles applied experience. AI disrupts this. If entry-level tasks are automated, fewer people enter. If mid-level judgment is replaced by systems, progression stalls. If senior roles rely on AI insights, authority shifts. The pipeline breaks. This makes careers less predictable. It also concentrates opportunity. Fewer people reach the top. 10. Work as data generation. In AI-mediated workplaces, work produces data. Every action becomes a signal. Every decision becomes feedback. Workers train the system simply by doing their job. This creates a strange inversion. The worker generates value twice. Once through labor, once through data. But the worker rarely owns either. The employer owns the output. The system owner owns the data. This changes the meaning of contribution. Work becomes extraction as much as production. 11. Why changes WHO is accountable. When decisions are automated, accountability shifts. If a worker follows a system recommendation, who is responsible for the outcome? The worker, the manager, the system, the company. Responsibility becomes diffuse. This protects institutions. It also disempowers workers. If you cannot override the system, you cannot fully own the decision. Work becomes execution without authority. Authority moves upward. 12. The emotional consequences of system work. Work is not just economic. It is psychological. AI-mediated work can feel alienating. Workers interact with interfaces, not people. Feedback comes from metrics, not mentors. Success is measured by scores, not stories. This can reduce meaning. People want to feel useful. They want to feel trusted. They want to feel seen. Systems do not see people. They see patterns. This disconnect affects morale and identity. 13. Flexibility or fragmentation. AI enables flexible work. Remote tasks. Gig platforms. On-demand labor. This can be empowering, but it can also fragment work. Short tasks. Unstable schedules. Algorithmic matching. Work becomes modular. Workers become interchangeable. Flexibility without security increases stress. The system benefits from adaptability. The worker absorbs uncertainty. 14. The rise of algorithmic bosses. In many workplaces, AI systems act as managers. They assign tasks. They evaluate performance. They schedule shifts. They enforce rules. There may still be human managers, but authority increasingly flows from the system. This changes power dynamics. You cannot negotiate with an algorithm. You cannot appeal to empathy. You cannot explain context. Work becomes impersonal. Power becomes opaque. 15. Why autonomy matters for meaning. Autonomy is central to meaningful work. The ability to decide how to do a task. The ability to exercise judgment. The ability to influence outcomes. AI often reduces autonomy. It prescribes steps. It enforces sequences. It flags deviations. This can increase efficiency, but it reduces ownership. When people feel they have no control, work feels less meaningful, even if pay remains the same. 16. AI and professional identity. Many professions are defined by expertise. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers. AI enters these fields as a decision support tool. Over time, it can become a decision authority. Professionals may shift from experts to validators, from decision makers to overseers. This challenges identity. If a system performs core tasks, what defines the profession? This creates tension. It also reshapes training. Learning to work with systems replaces learning to reason independently. 17. The risk of passive work. When systems guide every step, workers can become passive. They wait for instructions. They follow prompts. They stop questioning. This reduces learning. It also reduces resilience. If the system fails, workers may struggle to adapt. A workforce trained to follow systems is efficient. It is also brittle. This has long-term consequences for adaptability. 18. Work, surveillance, and trust. Trust is central to healthy workplaces. AI surveillance can erode trust. If every action is monitored, workers feel suspected. If metrics dominate, discretion disappears. This creates an adversarial relationship. Workers optimize for metrics. Managers optimize for control. The human relationship weakens. Work becomes transactional. 19. The promise of augmentation. AI is often described as augmenting work, helping humans do more, supporting creativity, reducing drudgery. This is possible, but augmentation depends on design. If AI is designed to support human judgment, work can improve. If AI is designed to replace judgment, work degrades. The difference lies in governance. Who decides how AI is used? What goals are prioritized? Whether humans retain authority. 20. WHO benefits from the new meaning of work. The shift in work meaning benefits some groups more than others. Employers gain control and efficiency. Highly skilled workers may gain leverage. Workers who own systems gain power. Others lose autonomy. Others lose stability. Others lose identity. AI does not affect all workers equally. It reorganizes status. 21. The long-term social effect. When work loses meaning, social consequences follow. Alienation increases. Civic participation declines. Mental health suffers. Work has always been more than income. It has been a way people participate in society. If AI reduces work to compliance, society becomes thinner. 22. What a different future could look like. AI does not have to strip work of meaning. Alternative paths exist. Systems that support judgment. Metrics that guide rather than punish. Shared ownership of productivity gains. Limits on surveillance. Design choices that preserve autonomy. These require deliberate decisions. Without them, the default path favors control over meaning. 23. Core takeaway. AI changes the meaning of work by shifting authority from humans to systems. It turns skill into compliance, judgment into metrics, experience into data. Work does not disappear, but it becomes narrower, more monitored, and less autonomous. Whether work remains meaningful depends on how AI is governed, not on the technology itself. If this episode helped you understand how AI is changing the meaning of work, like this video so more people can see it. Share it with someone who thinks AI only changes productivity. And subscribe to Uncovering Facts for deep, hype-free explanations of technology, power, work, and society. Next episode, why AI profits do not go to workers.